Yeah, what are you thinking? I'm gonna be drop water.
It's a bit like a wedding cake that's been laced with rum, dark rum, without the icing sugar, not the rum, but the cake without the icing sugar. Wedding cake, dark rum, and maybe that molasses smell that I was getting there is coming through, maybe reminding me of rum in the nose and tasting of rum in the mouth. Dark rum.
I'm not getting that, honestly, Bill. No,
Just something's coming. It's sweet. Sweet.
It's not as sweet as I know what you're saying about a rum can be very sweet, and I'm not getting that personally at the moment. I mean, I wouldn't say I was disappointed, because I'm never disappointed in a whisky, but it's just not what I expected. I thought the finish would just be like a Bruichladdich, you know, that smokiness or peatiness or something would be there just to fill the mouth at the finish. But the finish kind of just goes. It's not a long finish, and it just goes, and I find it hard to. I can pick out other things I've had earlier on this evening rather than the whisky.
I would suspect that these barrels that's been going around in the warehouse is probably something that they're not sure what they're going to do with. Probably thought, right, it maybe isn't a great whisky to start
probably,
with.
Yeah,
So thought, let's just see what we can do with it. Stick in some, perhaps maybe a sweet sherry. That'd be Oloroso, is it?
Yeah.
Oloroso. Get the sweetness coming through and overpowering it perhaps with the sherry.
And hoping that brings out something a wee bit better.
Mix it a wee bit. 6,000 bottles.
Yeah.
So they have mixed and matched it a wee bit, I would have thought, with various barrels and various flavours to try and give you a continuity. Striking that it's very dark in colour.
Yeah.
I would think that it's been first fill perhaps in sherry cask to give you the optimum colour without putting caramel in it. That's maybe getting technical, I'm just guessing. But I think they've tried to do something with this whisky that and it hasn't worked.
Hasn't worked. No. Hence the reason I'm just going to wait to light myself up a nice Trinidad Robusto tea cigar, because I enjoy a cigar on an evening, especially with mates and with a whisky. So let's just see how they go together. It's a.
To sum up, I think it's a sweet sherry with a hell of a kick because it's 46 volume.
We'll see what the next wee tasters take. Well, I personally think this one isn't going to take as long at all.
But on the interest of science, guys,
the appliance of science,
we're going to put something we never do normally. I can't say never because we're just about to do it. Let's see if we get something a wee bit out of this that we're not getting. We're going to put
3.
1.
I'll put 3.
2. And I'll put 3 in as well.
Have a swirl.
Straws of water.
Have a swirl. Never normally bother with water, but
it's so sweet. The thing needs to be thinned out a wee bit. See if there's anything else in the back. I think the sweetness is just overpowering the whole whisky.
yeah, doesn't taste like whisky at all to me. Just still sweet. Just honestly hasn't changed much for me at all.
But the good thing is,
it's made it longer.
it's just like a good sherry.
Yeah.
Good sherry, and the water's probably just taking this, having taken the strength off of it. It's quelled it a wee bit in the mouth. And just this overpowering sweetness. Which just reminds me of an average dark one.
I don't even get that. I get very little. I get very little taste of a spirit. That's the strange thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously, it's got to be what it is, which is 46, as you say. But I just get very little spirit. I could be drinking, I don't know what, a cocktail, something.
I know, but I get the flavour of sherry.
Mm-hmm.
But I get the sweetness of dark rum.
I don't get the dark rum. I don't get any spiritiness in it at all. I just get sweetness. probably disappointing, to be honest with you. I hate to say that to a friend, in front of a friend that bought it to me last year, but none of us knew what we were going to get out of the bottle. It's the good and surprise of whiskies, and totally appreciate it. But that might be the sort of whiskey, and enough. I expected that to be really robust, really heavy, something I'd held up there for a while, thinking, "Oh, I'll open this one day because it's going to be." And I've opened it, and it's a sweet afternoon. I could sip that in a Sunday afternoon before my Sunday lunch, as you might say, or Sunday evening tea.
Finish your thought. Maybe you worth a tall glass, plenty of rocks.
Ah, well, maybe that's the one.
Plenty of whiskey in there, and just sip it as a long summer drink.
Yeah.
Almost like a cocktail.
Maybe put soda in it, who knows?
Yeah. And that's about the stretch of it. So, scoring?
We're scoring
I'm not
right
going to
away.
mess around with it.
No. Out of the score out of 100, this has got to be down. I'm not even going to give it 80, guys, for the whiskey that it's supposed to be. I'll give it 78 out of 100 for the whiskey it's supposed to be. Because it's not a whiskey in my mind.
It's certainly not in the 80s. I was going to be generous because Bruichladdich have probably got a good reputation of doing things fairly proper, and they probably try to contrive this one. So my score for contriving is going to be 79, because it ain't an 80, it's going to be 79, which is a shame.
It's a shame. But, well, there you go.
You live and learn.
Would you buy a bottle, Will?
Well, I didn't give it to you.
Aren't you happy? Because I probably bought him back in his place, but never mind, we always do that anyway. But
tough life. But no doubt, through the months,
we might come back.
if he runs out of sherry, because we have a sherry in the earlier part of the evening, if we run out of sherry, chances are we'll have a Bruichladdich Sherry Edition 1992 Pedro Ximinez finish. Root toot.
And we're out.
Bye.
Good night, folks. Feedback at Ayeayereviews.co.uk.